are back. This is Ken from the Free Hugs Project.
It's me. Hello.
Quick intro, what are you doing?
Yes, my name is Nwadike Jr. I am known as the Free Hugs guy. Many people have seen me on the front lines of riots and protests across the country, going out to de-escalate violence. So I'll step in between protesters and police and say, hey, here's some solutions that we can come up with, because throwing rocks at each other or shooting tear gas or pepper spray does not solve much. So what can we do to create change? And so yeah, that's pretty much what I do, and I'm working on a whole number of other things. I speak at colleges every week just for how students can be better and unify and really look out for one another. So
he's running for president 2020.
And I am running for president.
Let's see the shirt. Where's the shirt?
I've got
there it is.
The logo here. Check it out. Kenny2020. A lot of people think I'm kidding because they know me as the Free Hugs guy. They're like, this guy's not really running for president. And then they Google it, and they're like, oh snap, he's really running for president.
He's one of four people.
Yes, one of like 4 or 5 of us they have declared so far. But go to Kenny2020.com. You'll check out kind of where I stand on some of the policies and issues. I am not just the Free Hugs guy. There's so much more to me. I went to college to study political science.
Yeah.
You know? I was a runner too. So out of college, I signed with the Nike farm team, and I was training to get to the Olympics.
Got it. Okay, cool.
So I didn't finish college by my senior year, but I think a lot of people take the entrepreneurial route or the athletic route.
Yeah.
Maybe one day I'll go back to college, but right now I've got a family, I've got this project and initiative that I'm running, and a number of other things.
So I know we're going to get into some of your stuff. I have a personal question on this.
Yes,
start off with. Hugs.
Yes.
Okay, so I just came back from the Tony Robbins event.
Okay.
And I've been challenged. You just had something in New Jersey like this past weekend.
Okay.
I've been challenged to not do any handshakes anymore, and just hugs.
Dude, that is like the most brilliant thing that you can do. First of all, hugs are better than handshakes, because handshakes exchange germs a lot more. Versus if you're hugging people, you're not really, like, people touch all sorts of nasty stuff, right? Okay. So if you hug them, that's important. But two, hugs boost your oxytocin levels and make you feel good about yourself. They make other people feel good. And it's probably the best way that you could tell someone, I see you. And I'm willing to show how close I'm able to stand with you. So much more than a handshake.
Okay, so when I started this in New York, and somebody comes and, hey, these people recognize me at the event, like, want to shake my hand. Hey, I don't do handshakes, I do hugs. I did that 3-4 times, and then somebody said, I didn't know you're such a germaphobe.
No, it's not a germaphobe.
I didn't even think about it. So, like, okay, so I need something else. I need something else. But then it just got really awkward. Then somebody put out their hand, and I like, hey.
It was kind of weird.
So I need advice from like the expert. I use the handshake coming out as the trigger.
Yes.
Right. It's a reminder. Handshake's coming out. I'm not doing a handshake. I'm going for a hug.
Nope.
So what do you recommend? Just forget the handshake and just go hug. Just say something. What?
I think it's how you posture yourself.
Okay.
I rarely approach people with my hand in that direction.
No, but people approach me.
Got it.
Right? They're like this, so I use that as my trigger.
First.
Yeah, exactly.
That's tough.
Hey, Evan, good to meet you.
And they've got their hand out.
And I don't want to shake that hand. That's my trigger. That's my trigger, right? I see the hand, I got a hug. I'm not wearing Free Hug t-shirt. I mean, I could do that. I could change my whole branding.
I think you dropped that logo on
Put a hug shirt. That's it.
And people know
100% on the train.
He only gives hugs. And I think that's probably the way to do it. Or you bust one of them little juke moves, like they put their hand out, then you spin move on them, and then hit them with the hug.
I want to hit them with a message, though, right?
Yes. Why you do the hugs?
Right. Exactly. That it's not a germ thing, but it's a better connection.
Yes. I think sharing that with people, especially when they're awkward about having their hand out for a hug. I think telling them, look, with all the division going on in the world right now, bring it in. Bring it in.
Bring it in.
That's it. Just bring it in, man.
Okay. I've been saying, like, I'm working on being a hugger.
No, that's too long of a sentence. Just bring it in.
Bring it in.
What's that, 3 words?
Just bring it in.
Bring it
in.
Yeah. Bring it in, man.
There's still no message, though. I don't like that there's no message.
Well, the message is there's so much hate and division in the world right now. A handshake's not enough.
A handshake's not enough.
No way.
Handshake's not enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, we're getting there.
It's not enough.
Handshake's not enough.
No, I feel like a hug tells someone, I see you, I care about you, you're a person, you're a human being, I'm willing to stand this close, body to body with you. A hand is not enough. No way.
Okay.
There are a lot of benefits to hugs. We know that we need roughly about 12 hugs a day, even just to survive. And no one's getting that. Who's getting 12 hugs?
Unless 12 hugs a day to survive?
Yeah, because it's reducing your stress levels,
Okay.
depression, it's boosting your oxytocin levels, it's helping you feel loved. There's just so many benefits.
Where does that come from, 12 hugs a day? Is that a study?
12 hugs a day. It's a statistic. I don't know how, like...
Okay.
Up to
Look
speed
it up. Look it up.
Yeah,
Danny's going to get a lot of hugs from me today.
Cool, yes, because everyone needs them. And even if you're not getting your full 12, at least some, it's sad to know that there are some people that go years at a time without getting hugs.
Yeah.
And I know this because I was at the Boston
Years
Marathon.
at a time.
Years at a time. I was at the Boston Marathon. I was giving free hugs. I set up on the Boston Marathon course. This was the first time I ever did the free hugs thing.
Yeah.
I was rocking this shirt. And if you watch that video, it had gone viral on Facebook and YouTube. But if you watch that video, there was a woman, she gives me a hug, she continues running by. She didn't know the camera was rolling. She says, as she's running by, not even to me, she goes, that was probably the first hug I got in 3 years.
Wow.
And I realize there are a lot of people that feel that way. When I travel around to these schools, especially when I'm at high schools and middle schools, surprisingly, it's like the young boys that'll come in for that hug and then say, man, I don't remember the last time my dad hugged me.
Right.
And I hear that all the time.
Right.
And it's heartbreaking because I hug my kids all the time.
Right.
I know how important that affection is. And so when you're meeting a little boy who is in high school or middle school and he's struggling with identifying himself and maybe he's being bullied, to know that he's saying, I can't remember the last time my dad hugged me.
Right. And was the Boston one the first one you did?
That was the first time ever.
And why? Why show up to Boston?
It was after the bombing of the
Okay.
Boston Marathon. And that was when I really started to realize that, man, this world is messed up.
You're in San Diego.
I live in San Diego. I flew across the country
To Boston.
to Boston. I wasn't even sure if anyone was going to hug me because I had never done this before.
Right.
And so I went to the mall in San Diego. I grabbed a black t-shirt. I had them screen print free hugs on it.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm just going to go out there and whatever happens, happens. I set up a camera just like that on the race course, and it was magic. From there, after that video went viral, I started getting flown all over the country to do news programs and news shows. First BuzzFeed picked it up, the New York Times, Boston Globe, LA Times, San Diego. When I got back home to San Diego, they wanted to run this whole profile on me. From there, it became, he's the free hugs guy. And so that's what people know me as now. And I've been doing that for roughly about 4 years, really trying to spread this message of love. Maybe a year or two into it, an agent called me and he said, hey, you speak really well. Can we get you talking at colleges? I was like, I don't even know what that means. I didn't even graduate from college, but sure, I'll go to colleges, and before you know it, I start showing up at all of these prestigious schools that he's sending me to, giving a 1-hour keynote just on how important it is that we unify as a nation and that we care more for one another.
Right.
And so knowing that this message of coming together and being able to identify the people that need help around us, that are struggling with depression, or their stress levels are just off the charts, or those mental health issues, being able to identify and say, I've got to care more for that person. I need to care more for the kid that's sitting by himself in the cafeteria or in the classroom that is struggling with things, because just knowing that when you leave those people to feel isolated, then all sorts of things happen. And we're seeing that. I don't know if you guys are experiencing that here in Canada, but back home, it's a mess what we're dealing with the shootings in schools and bullying, and not even just in schools. Now, I mean, people are getting shot in churches and concerts and movie theaters. It's just on and on and on to where people don't even feel safe anymore. And I feel like one of the things we could do to take a step back is to just care a little bit more for one another and be able to identify that person might need some help, I'm going to go talk with them.
Right.
So that's the whole purpose of this work. I'm hoping that it spreads. So whenever I travel around, I give people free hug shirts. That's what
I got mine. It's sitting there, Okay, so 2020.
Yes.
You just won the Democratic
Oh, that would be crazy.
He's just won the Democratic convention.
Nuts.
You're ready for your first debate with President Trump.
Oh my goodness.
You're gonna walk over there and give him a hug.
I would. I really would, because I think
So,
showing that
he's gonna put his
germaphobe, man.
He's gonna put his hand out and you're gonna say, "Bring it in."
He's a germaphobe. He will not hug me. He's not gonna handshake or hug. Well, he might handshake, but he definitely doesn't seem like the huggy type. But if I could get him to give a hug,
Right.
Man, there's so much change that can come from.
Okay, so how do you deal with people like that who
are not huggy people?
This is my fear. Yeah. So yesterday I had a guy come in. He came in from Russia, doing the show,
yes.
and he brought a buddy of his from Turkey. And he was all like, oh yeah, this Turkish guy's like, I don't know who this guy is, I don't know where he is. I gave him a hug, and it was like a super awkward, like he's not feeling
Macho
it.
guy.
So how do you deal with that?
Well, when you have those macho guys,
Yeah.
I think just breaking that down little by little. Sometimes you may not do it on the first try.
Okay.
But one of the things I've noticed, especially as I travel around and
Yeah.
in the airports,
Yeah.
when I'm wearing this shirt,
Right.
I get more hugs from the big, tough guy
Yeah.
that you wouldn't think would come in for a hug.
Right.
And I started to wonder, why is it that way? You know, you pass all of these women, you pass all of these young people, but it's the big macho guy that's like, hey, and comes in for the hug.
Yeah.
And I started to realize that guy, because he seems big, macho, and intimidating,
Yeah.
he's probably getting the least hugs out of anyone.
Right.
And so knowing that when he sees an invitation, like an open invitation, he's going to take it. And so I think for the people that still feel like, oh no, I need to be macho and tough, I'm not getting a hug.
Right.
I think you break it down little by little.
What do you mean break it down? So what am I doing? So this guy comes up to me, he's like, hey,
That's the first time, yeah. So he put his.
But I'm never gonna see this guy again. So I'm
then
home to Turkey.
Then that's tough. Well, I mean, I think it starts with a smile. I think
Okay.
it starts with just your body posture
Okay.
and how you approach that person. And eventually, you kind of break down this macho, masculine level that this person thinks they need to be at,
Yeah.
and just let them know, look, it's all good, man. Hug it out. We're here. Let's do this.
Yeah, okay.
So,
I need to come up with a line or like the strategy because
it's the body language.
The body language.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, you've got that smile. Hit them
Yeah.
with the smile.
Yeah.
The welcoming body language.
Yeah.
I think so many people, they're so stiff when they meet people. Hey, I'm Ken.
Yeah.
No, I'm never gonna do that. What's
Yeah.
up? I'm gonna smile at you. I'm gonna bring you in.
Yeah.
Let you know I'm happy to be here. I'm
Yeah.
happy to be in front of you. I'm
Yeah.
happy to be in front of your people. And so that's really important that
Yeah.
we demonstrate that more. And I mean, we could be having the worst of day going on, the worst of situations going on in our life, but when we meet other people, they might have a worse situation.
Yeah.
And so I think just showing them that love, showing them that respect is important.
I'm looking forward to the 2020 Kenny and Trump.
Let's do this.
Embrace
Yes.
the CNN debate.
Oh man,
It's happening.
I would love.
He's
that.
not hugging you back, but you're gonna go in.
Yeah, he's probably gonna give me one of those like weird side hugs or something, but
Right.
I'm gonna go.
Are
in
you
for
are you
the
gonna
full
force
embrace.
it? Like he's gonna go side hug. Are you gonna like just bring him in and go full on?
It's
happening?
Well, I don't know. I would have to see how I feel and what type of smack he's going to talk about me leading up to.
Oh, it's going to be brutal. He's
I
gonna,
already know
he's, but that's the end. That's the thing, right?
Yes.
You're trying to
I'm
heal
trying
the
to
smack.
disarm and defuse and de-escalate. So
Right.
as he's talking all of that stuff, one of the things I've already decided for my campaign going into it is that no matter what negativity gets thrown my way, I will never retaliate or respond in the same way. Uh-oh, is that a fire?
May I have your attention, please? May
This
I have
is
your
cool.
attention, please? This is Dawning Fire. We are conducting a fire alarm test. I repeat, we are conducting a fire alarm test. This is just a test. Thank you.
That's the best.
Well, I'm glad they're doing that because as you guys may know, I'm sure when you turn on the news here in Canada, you're hearing about our California wildfires.
Yeah.
It's devastating seeing what's going on out there, seeing the number of people that have passed away, the number of people that have lost their homes, animals, horses, dogs, all sorts of things that are missing now. It's really disheartening to see that. And so I love that when things like that happen, one, people come together, communities come together, but also it causes people to step up their checks and balances of, are we prepared for that to happen? So maybe that's why that alarm went off right now, but I'm glad that it did, because if a fire went down here right now, I want to know. Sprinklers are going off and we know where to go. So
We'll be hugging it out on the
hugging
street
it out,
with everybody.
That's the thing. Tragedy brings people together.
Right.
And it's unfortunate that there are so many tragedies happening, but I wish we would learn from that and not have to wait until the tragedies come so that we can work together and bring people together. I think that, man, just imagine if the way that we respond whenever there's a shooting or a fire or a tragic event, the way that we respond even when the flooding happened, what was it? The hurricanes in Houston some time ago, and I went out there to go and try to help people. And
Yeah.
I was like, man, these communities seem so bonded, so gelled together. But I know that that's just temporary. And you hear
Right.
so many of these stories of love and people coming together, and then it phases out, and then they go back to their regular lives.
Right.
And I'm like, why does it have to phase out though?
Right.
How come we can't just be like that more? How come we can't turn our society?
So what's the
that
answer?
way? The answer, I think, one, people have to start putting down their phones and their social media devices and start having real interactions more often. We don't realize that all of these technological advances that we've had, it's great for science and technology, but for our personal development skills, we're struggling because of it. So many young people struggle having real conversations in front of people because they're just not used to it. They speak in emojis, they speak in a few characters. And so now when they're put in front of a person to just have a conversation, they would rather look down at their phones. Go into a restaurant where there's a lot of young people and just look around, and you'll see how many people are actually looking down at their social media devices rather than appreciating the moment.
How about 12 daily hugs for everybody?
Yes, oh man, it would
You
be
should make
a movement, right?
one
12
but
hugs.
something that people could check off every day that they put on their fridge.
An app, since they're already on their social media devices,
It could be an app with a reminder,
and a
notifications.
reward system.
But even like, I love it. It just takes time to build an app.
Got it.
But if you just to
Keep
get
it
started, like a piece of paper
Yep.
that has free hugs and your logo and your face or whatever, and the
Yeah.
stat, and we look it up to say where it came from and all that stuff.
I
But
dig that.
a weekly calendar that's like a erase board that you stick on your fridge.
Yep.
The Sunday 12, Monday 12 boxes.
I
and you
dig
like
that.
you check that off or you X it off, right?
Yeah.
It's like 12 different people. You got to give a hug. Then it's a reminder. Like,
Even
oh,
if it's the same 12 people every day,
right,
but that exchange
Right.
is happening, and it's not just for you; it's for them too.
right. Like today, I got you and I got my wife.
Yep.
I got 10 more.
See,
you gotta give Danny a
gotta
hug.
hug Danny.
You gotta
There
hug
you go.
Danny.
Yes, Danny needs
Danny was
a hug.
very angry walking in this morning. He was tired. He was not in a hugging mood. But whatever, bring it in, Danny.
He got a hug
bring
from
it
me.
in,
There
Danny.
you go.
Right?
Bring it in. And he got a hug from me. So that's oh man, here we go again.
There's the test.
I think
May I
the
have your
fire.
attention, please?
Could I move that camera
This
over
is
to
on
that side?
fire.
Yeah.
We are conducting a fire alarm drill.
This is awesome.
This has never happened on the live show.
See,
This is
I brought the smoke from California, and they're like, hold up, there's someone from Cali in the building. Let's make sure we're gonna be all right. So it's good.
Oh, there you go. Now that's the actual. I've never heard the fire alarm here.
Does that mean we have to
It's
get out
actually
here?
like a bell. No, it's a test.
Oh, okay, still.
It's actually a bell. It's like an old school.
Yeah.
It sounds like an old school bell.
It sounds like Santa Claus is on the way.
Right? At my condo, we have a very loud, like,
Yeah.
but this legit sounds like a bell.
This is actually easier on the ears
Yeah.
than some of those alarms that I've heard.
Yeah. So how long does the fire alarm test go for?
I don't know. I would assume hopefully not longer than a minute. Well,
So I gotta get my hugs in.
12 a day. Here,
12
I'm
a
gonna
day.
look up the stat while we're
Yeah.
listening to the bells. All right.
Did you post on the? You posted the Spider-Man saying?
I did, yes,
Okay,
that helped.
okay. We'll
Yep.
talk about that. I want to talk about that.
Yep.
There we go.
All right. How many hugs per day? Family therapist Virginia Setzer once said we need 4 hugs a day for survival.
Okay.
We need 8 hugs a day for maintenance.
Okay.
We need 12 hugs a day for growth.
Okay.
Look at that. It may sound like a lot of hugs, but the more the hugs, the better.
Got it.
That's
Okay.
what we need. 10 reasons why you need at least 8 hugs a day. See that? You can just Google it. This is not just Ken saying this, people. Google it. Google how many hugs a day do I need? And there's going to be all sorts of stats ranging from 4 to 8 to 12.
But you got to pick a number.
Yes.
It's like, hey, you want to grow?
Let's keep it in the
You need 12
middle
hugs.
for people. Well, because 12 could be a lot for people starting out. So 4 for survival, 8 for maintenance, and 12 for growth. Yeah, so if you want to grow, That's what I'm trying to do. I'm
Yeah.
trying to grow. And I feel
Yeah.
like I've been growing dramatically, tremendously
Yeah.
since I started this.
Yeah.
Before, I felt like I was just Ken, the race director. I was producing charitable running events. I
Okay.
owned the Hollywood Half Marathon, the Awesome 80s Run.
Yeah.
One of those events, it's my largest event, which is why I was paying attention to the Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
I came up
Got
through
it.
track and field. Track and field took me out of homelessness. I was living in a homeless shelter with my family while I was in high school.
Okay.
Secretly going from the shelter to Chula Vista High School to run. I ended up running the mile in 4 minutes and 17 seconds.
Nice.
That got me a scholarship to college. While I ran in college, I got a lot faster. I got down to about a 4:05. From that 4:05, then I signed a running deal with the Nike Farm Team. Was training to get to the Olympics with them. And signing with the Nike Farm Team didn't mean that I was getting paid much. It's just that I was with a group of elite athletes,
Right.
some of whom had already gone to the Olympics or the Olympic trials, and those of us that were training to get there.
Right.
So I was doing all of that, and then eventually I started organizing and producing my own running races because I found that if running took me out of homelessness, took me out of being shy and very insecure in who I was as a person, imagine what that can do for so many other people around me. So I started promoting the sport heavily, and the Hollywood Half Marathon brought out 10,000 runners for the first few years that I was organizing it.
Yeah.
But seeing so many people's lives change because of it. People
Yeah.
that were overweight, stressed out, depressed, that are saying, this is now my thing, you know, and I've lost so much weight and I don't feel all of this stress or anxiety anymore because I'm running a lot more. So I loved being able to give that to people because I'm like, see, look what it did for me.
Yeah.
It could do the same thing for you. It's kept me in shape. I mean, I'm approaching, well, I'll be 37 in December. So next month.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I'm approaching 40, but I still feel like a kid. You know, I feel very agile. And I have a lot of kids. I have 5 kids. A lot of people don't realize that. You know what I mean? I just had twins recently. And so it wasn't supposed to be 5. We were good at 3.
Yeah.
And then the twins came and
Yeah.
we're like, oh, snap.
now we're done.
We got 5 kids. Yeah, so shut down shop. We're not doing this thing anymore. But yes, 5 kids is a lot. But, you know, my hair might be turning gray, but I still feel very spry and agile because I've been running pretty much my whole life. So I encourage people to do that. So it's not just about hugs. It's also about running and taking care of your physical health, your physical body as well.
Yeah.
And also,
There it is.
oh,
there
my
it is.
goodness.
This is a different bell than last
It
time.
is. It's more gentle, for
This
sure.
is just a single bell. The other was like a ding dong. This
Yeah.
is just a ding. This is just a ding.
It's all good. But see, this is such as life, right? We roll with the punches.
That's it, man.
You, rather than some people who would like freak out and be like, this is ridiculous, we're trying to get work done. Instead, we laugh about it.
This is the best.
Yes, and it causes us to, let's look up more stats. Let's look up,
This is going to be the most memorable YouTube interview
there
I've
we go.
ever done.
Cool, yes, because we
We'll
got
always have
bells
this
going
moment.
off. Yes,
It's
for
crazy.
sure. And how many presidential candidates come in here, right? See? And hug people. All right, let's see. 2020 presidential candidates. That's what we're going to do.
Oh, how many people?
While we're waiting.
Got it.
So let's see.
Is Ye running?
No. He's too buddy
Oh,
with
he's not going
Trump.
to run against Trump.
Yeah,
right.
so he's going to wait till Trump is done.
But he
Yeah.
said I'm running for 2020.
He did say that, but
Okay.
then he went and kicked it with Trump
Okay.
and gave him a hug,
Okay.
which that whole situation was just
Did he
awful
give Trump
to
a
me.
hug?
He gave Trump a hug.
Okay.
In the
Oval
Oval
Office?
Office.
Was there a hug back?
Rocking the hat. There wasn't really a hug back because Trump was sitting down, and then Kanye kind of like was standing over him and gave him like this weird hug. They're just weird, man. That whole process is strange to me. So, all right, 2020 presidential candidates.
Okay, here we go. We're
So
on
for those of you who
Wikipedia.
are online, we're on
Wikipedia.
Wikipedia, but you could just Google it. You could Google 2020 presidential candidates.
Okay, here we
So
go.
we already know on
Alright.
the so if we hit nominations,
Republican
Republican Party, we've got Trump, of course. No one wants to run against him. I don't think he's really
Has he run against?
yeah, because like there are other Republicans.
Okay, is it done?
This is on expire. We are now complete with the offer.
We're complete.
Please,
Yes. All right. Cool. Yes, but you
Wait,
you
but
could
does
run
any-
as a Republican.
But has anybody ever run against a sitting president?
Totally.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah,
I don't
it's
know
hard
about
to
politics.
beat that
Okay.
person. But if I ran as a Republican,
So people ran against Obama and the Democrats
Totally.
when he went for his second term.
for sure, yeah.
Okay.
So he's running so far by himself. There
Okay,
hasn't been
okay.
any declared Republican candidate.
And
But
where are you?
already so far
Here it
on the
comes.
Democratic side, let's see who we've got. We've got these two guys that are currently politicians.
John
so
Delaney.
John Delaney and Richard Ojeda. and then you've got this dude, I don't even know who he is, and then you've got me. Look at that.
Nice.
It's really there.
And wait, your free hug picture is there too, right?
Yeah, well, because under my suit.
What's this thing?
It's like, you know how
you're
Superman, when he pulls out the thing.
That's awesome.
But rather than the S, I got free hugs across my chest.
What does it say about you here?
It says that I'm a peace activist, inspirational speaker, and video journalist. So I travel with that camera to shoot videos. I go into riots and protests to create peace, and then I speak at schools.
Okay.
And it's really cool because I'm always around young people, mostly college kids. They're always updating this Wikipedia. So the first time that I declared on stage that I was going to do it, because so many of them would say, we need someone to unite the country. We feel so divided right now. And I could say, even in my lifetime, and I was born in 1981, but this is the most divided I've ever seen the whole country. I've seen it pretty bad when I lived in LA during the 92 riots. I saw what looked like race riots going on, where you have black versus white, black versus the Asian community. I feel like black and brown kind of stuck together, but there was just so much racial tension in Los Angeles at that time during the Rodney King riots of '92. And so that was probably the most divided I've seen my community, but right now, currently, is the most divided that I've seen the entire nation. The FBI just put out a statistic just 2 days ago that in 2017, I believe hate crimes have increased by 17%, and hate groups are growing in membership at alarming rates. And that's really disturbing to know. Alarming rates, right? It's disturbing to know that as we should be becoming more unified as a nation, again, all of our technological advancements and social media and things that were designed to supposedly connect us, yet we're feeling more divided than ever. And I think part of that...
I was just thinking, going back to before the whole fire alarm thing went up, you're talking about you made a commitment that no matter how much negativity in your campaign is going to be thrown at you, you still want to approach it with
love and respect,
Okay, so just pulling that thread, so you're on your campaign trail, you've won the Democratic nominee. Trump's going to have some name for you. What's his name going to be for you?
Who knows? I'm sure it's going to be something crazy disrespectful.
It's going to be something crazy disrespectful. And so he's been calling you that the whole time, and then now you finally get to meet the first time on the stage. You're not gonna. How are you gonna handle the? Well, so this is good. On the trail when you're getting hit. And all the media's coming at you. What's your response gonna be?
I'm just moving forward. That's it. And that's what people are... Actually, that's going to be my campaign slogan, is moving forward together.
Okay.
People are constantly trying to put us in boxes and pull us right or left. I don't move right or left, I move forward. And so the goal is to move forward together, bring people with me from the right and left and say, let's move forward together. So that's the campaign slogan. I don't know what he'll come up with for me. I know, what was it, Lion Ted and all these like crazy names that he gave people. Who knows? He'll probably call me inexperienced Ken. That's cool. I'll go with that. What I will do though is surround the rookie
newbie
Ken, right?
Newbie Ken.
Exactly. I would probably, I would go in as the youngest president ever. If I became president, I think the only person close to my age would have been John F. Kennedy. So by the time I go into office, if I become president, I would be 39 years old. So youngest sitting president. I would assume that whatever name he would give me would be somewhere around rookie or newbie. And I'm totally fine with that, because what I would do is just surround myself with some of the most experienced people that I can find in politics to be a part of my administration. And that's how you create change. So my goal would be to lead from the heart and have people around me who are very experienced with politics to help shape those decisions. But at the end, that final decision still comes from the heart, which I feel is such an important place for us to make decisions on right now as a nation, rather than worrying about what's in the best interest of donors or supporters, especially super PACs and large corporations.
Cool.
So
All right, good. Well, it's going to be a fun journey to watch, right?
It will be very, very exciting. I feel like I'm going to bring some youthful energy to it, too, some youthful swag to the whole thing. And we've seen that. We just saw that in the midterm elections. We saw a lot of young people, a lot of minorities, a lot of women. We're reshaping the way American politics look. And that's important because I feel like our politics should be representative of what the people look like, and it has not been that way. It's always been mostly one group of people ruling over a very diverse group of people. And so now to see diverse groups of people really stepping into politics. I love this whole women's movement that's on the way right now. I would probably even, as things get going, choose a female running mate because I think it's so important for women to have their place, or vice versa. I would hope that if a woman becomes president, hey, put me somewhere in your administration. Let's really try to unify this country together. Whatever it takes to just make America a better place, because you guys are doing well out here in Canada, man. We're not doing that well back in the States right now.
Yeah, I think for us, everybody comes from somewhere else, especially if you come to a city like Toronto.
Yep.
My mom came from Italy. My grandparents came from England. Like we're all from somewhere else. Mm-hmm. And so growing up, you go to school with everybody.
Yeah.
And so everybody's got like immigrant mentality, or their parents had the immigrant mentality, or their grandparents, and so you're just used to it.
You get along,
right?
But we're not that far from that, though.
Yeah.
Yet still, we have all of these problems, and I think it's because we almost we segregate ourselves in the States. People are segregated by race or finances and economics. There's all of these things that cause us to divide ourselves, and so then when they're dropped into a diverse setting like college, some people don't know how to act. They don't know how to interact with other people, and that's causing a lot of problems in the country. It's causing problems in the workplace. So I think taking everything back to a place of civility where people can just speak to each other with respect and love one another. We hardly know each other.
Yeah.
You know, we connected via social media. I feel like after one of my viral videos some time ago, you had messaged me. I was supposed to get back to you somehow, a 3-year gap because I didn't respond properly to this email.
Snubbed me.
I was super busy at that time. 3 years went by, and we didn't speak. But then when I met you at Vid Summit and reminded you of that, you easily could have been like, no, forget you.
Right.
I tried to reach out to you some time ago, but you weren't. You were very welcoming and cordial, and we laughed about it. We laughed about even the email that was sent, and I misspelled your name. And
awesome.
And remember that? I called you Evan.
You snubbed me and misspelled my name.
I called him Evan, and I knew his name was Evan, but I wrote Evan in there. And we laughed about it, and now here we are. I flew all the way out to Canada to hang out, and just knowing that, man, imagine if we were more like that as a nation, where people didn't get so easily offended by things. You could have been offended a number of times. I could have been like, oh man, I tried to email you back and you never got back to me. Yeah. And then now we're trying to avoid each other. Right. No way, let's not do that. Let's be good people, hug it out, right? And laugh about it, smile more, and that's how change is created, and that's how progress happens. This is progress right here. Me being here in Toronto, doing this interview, letting you guys know that I'm actually running for president. That's progress. Versus if we would have let hatred or division get in the way, this would have never happened, and I would have been trying to duck or dodge you at Vid Summit.
Right.
You know?
Right.
It's important.
So you flew here from California.
Yep.
Flew in last night.
Yes.
You're here. We've had a great chat. How can I bring value to what you're doing? Social media, or how can I help?
Well, I think social media helps a lot, just growing the platform, getting the message out there more. I know, people will look at me and say, well, he doesn't look very presidential. He's got tattoos and wears a free hug shirt and has earrings in his ear. But that's what a lot of America looks like. A lot of this next generation looks like. We try not to judge by these things. So I think just getting more visibility out there via social media is very helpful, but you've got a lot of wisdom and knowledge. I went through a lot of your videos and just the sort of things that you post. I could tell you study a lot of great speakers and people who have really inspirational quotes. And so I think just looking to you as a mentor, as someone who is outside of all of the chaos that's going on in the States, I would love to be able to hit you up and say, hey man, I'm struggling with this, or I need this motivation tip or this, and for you to say, hey, I've got this video, or I've got this on my mind for you right here. And
what's your quantity? What's your frequency? Instagram and YouTube?
Instagram, as far as how frequent I put out content, I would like to put out content more frequently, but I have not been
what are you at
good
right
at
now?
that. I would say Instagram, I post maybe 3 times a week.
3 times a week?
And
okay.
then on YouTube, at one point, I was cranking out stuff maybe once every week to 2 weeks. But I think between now and my last video, it's been almost a month. And so I know that I need to step that up. But I've just been so focused on studying more of the current policies that are in place and trying to figure out how can I bring some value, how can I bring some change to that. So I need to get back to communicating with the people, because that's going to be very important. And
I think from the stuff I've seen from you, it's always the big stuff, which a lot of them end up popping in Boston Marathon, awesome, and you've done some subsequent ones. Mm-hmm. But I think your real strength will be in the daily.
Okay.
It's the 12 hugs a day.
There you go. Okay.
Because not everybody can go to the next Boston Marathon bombing, but they can hug 12 people a day. And the constant reminder that they need to do that. Because nobody in their life is telling them hug people. Right? And so they watch one of your things, or they see your Insta post, like, oh yeah, I've got to.
It's good for a moment.
You're the only influence. No, it's good for the day, maybe, right? Like, it's on my head, 12, I gotta find 12 people. But tomorrow I might forget about it. Mm-hmm. And I'm still into the hugs over handshakes thing.
Got it.
Right? For someone like Danny who hates hugs.
Yep.
It's gone after
trying
this.
To get that into, okay.
Right?
Cool.
So I think people need, just like they need believe daily. They need hugs daily. They need your message of peace daily.
That could be the name of the show there, Hugs Daily. And there's always positivity tips that I'm cranking out.
I would lower the quality and not worry as much about the editing, or get one of the college students who love you to be your editor and help you for the next 6 months as an internship working for you.
Cool.
Right?
To just crank out more daily content.
Yeah, daily content.
Cool.
I'm 3 times a day on YouTube and 6 times a day on Instagram.
Wow. 6
posts a day, plus we'll do 3 to 8 stories a day, plus Instagram Live. I'm doing 3 Instagram Lives today.
Wow.
Yeah.
This is your primary gig now, is just getting that message of positivity and things out
It's
there.
getting the message out.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, I own this business, I stay in school here.
Wow.
I've invested in a couple other companies, but still having time to, I've written 2 books. You have a book deal?
I haven't. I have a deal. I haven't written it yet.
Right.
Yes.
So it starts with you, but then you think about, how can I get a team? How can I get my team to help me?
Yep.
Right? And the message, I think you're already great at delivering a message.
Thanks.
I think it resonates. You've got energy. You've got clarity. You've got a point that a lot of people will connect with.
Yep.
And if you took the phone and just started recording and you post that video, it's a daily reminder that I need this in my life.
Awesome.
You know Wim Hof?
Wim Hof, no.
He's the ice bath guy.
With Kevin Hart?
No,
I know Kevin Hart has a show.
Wim Hof is this crazy guy from Holland, I think, where he goes he swims under the ice naked.
I may have seen that. Did he do something with Red Bull?
Maybe.
I think I've seen that.
Anyway, so he's teaching people his breathing technique and also his ice bath. Like cold showers every day, cold exposure every day will help you heal your body. Awesome. I went to his workshop in Toronto. It was great. I felt awesome doing it. But every day waking up and doing a cold shower is still but it's good for you, but it's still it's when he's not around, it's hard to stay consistent on it.
Yeah.
But then when he posts a video, it's like, oh yeah, it's back on the tip of your tongue, right?
Okay.
It's the same thing with hugs. They love it. It's a great message. But then the next time somebody comes and gives them their hand out, right?
They accept.
You collapse.
Yeah, you stop accepting it.
But you're not there to push them anymore.
Okay.
Because they saw you once coming to their college campus and got motivated and they're hugging in the aisles and whatever crazy stuff you had them do. Great. But then the next day and then the next day and the next week,
life
they're back to normal.
Gets them. Yeah.
But so you are the thing that changes their life. You're the spark
Cool.
And they need it regularly.
This is good advice, man.
Right?
I think it's tough to try to get that daily content out, but I think really understanding how important it is, because you're right, a lot of people, they'll hear the message and they'll adopt and embrace it, but then after a few days they retreat back into their regular lives, which usually is comprised of stress, depression, anxiety, my schoolwork or my employment, whatever it is getting very difficult on people. And so I think that constant reminder, I like that.
I think you need to have somebody. If you're doing it yourself, then you go lower tech. Like, forget about this camera and the setup and the microphone. Use your phone. The phone. Guys, 12 hugs a day. If you want to grow, you need 12 hugs a day. Have you done that yet? Come on, let's go. It's Thursday. 12 hugs. You got to get it in by the end of the day, right? Boom. I'm gonna go find some. I'm gonna go walk on the street. Boom, lady here. Hug it out. Let's bring it in, right? Boom. That's one for me. Go. Let's go. Right? And that's it. That's your post.
I love that.
And you have such an energy, and you're well spoken that you don't need to edit. You're not stumbling over your words. Right. You're not like trying to come up with something.
I'm not saying
and like let me start over and do that again. 1,000 edits, because you've spoken a lot, right? And so I think doing that and not relying on having fancy gear and then whatever you pop that into whatever editing program and all that. Awesome. Like, just take it and post it right to YouTube. Okay. Or make a 1-minute version, post it to Instagram. Cool. Right?
And then push that to Facebook as well.
Sure, yeah. Until you get to the point where you have somebody with you who can then take care of all that stuff. Because you don't want to be the world's greatest editor.
No way.
Right?
Yeah, it slows down.
So how long do you spend editing a video?
Yeah, it could take an hour or so.
So if it takes you 10 minutes to make a video and then an hour recording the video or editing the video, you're building on the skills.
For sure.
You're just not using your time in the best way, because the more you do the street stuff, making videos, that's actually what's going to matter.
I'm connecting with the people.
Yeah, and then you build your business to the point where you have somebody following around 24/7 who then loves doing that stuff. It's not disrespecting the editing. The editing is super important. Like, the work Danny does is awesome.
Yep.
I love it. I wouldn't be growing without my editing team.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not what you want to be great at. And you already are great at something, but it's being hidden because you're spending time doing
behind the scenes
something else, right?
Okay.
And not frequently enough.
Got it.
Right? So something quick on YouTube, something quick on Instagram, could even be potentially the same video. But Instagram, you got to go kind of square, or vertical. YouTube's going the other way. But whether it's like, why are you here?
Yeah.
Right? Or you're in the airport and like you saw some guy, like you're already thinking stuff. You see something and you have a thought, right?
Share.
Record it. Just teach me to think like you think.
Okay.
You're a thought leader.
Yeah.
I want to think like you think.
That's good.
The way that you see, you land at the Toronto airport and something happens, or you look around and maybe there's music playing, or there's a smell in the air, or people are nice, or you see somebody hugging each other.
People were nice.
Right?
Yeah. The woman, when I went through customs, and usually you would expect people in uniform, they're not always the friendliest of people. Yeah. And the customs lady, she was very welcoming and joking. And I had even forgot my passport upstairs in the machine that you have to scan to come into the country. And I was like, shoot, I might get stuck in Canada, which wouldn't be a problem. Okay. But we joked about that. And I thought it was pretty cool that we shared that moment, myself and a customs agent in a new country. Yeah. And so you're right. I think just being able to share that. Yes.
Now, she may not be on the video with you.
Yeah, it would just share that story.
But often you can bring people in on the video with you. Like, hey, you mind if this is awesome. You mind if we film something quick?
That's great.
My YouTube channel, I think it could inspire people. Most people will say yes. Okay. A security agent.
Probably not a customs agent.
But you walk out, you get through this clearance, and you're like, man, something amazing just happened to me. I left my passport, and that takes you 2.5 minutes to record, and then boom, you post it.
Cool.
Right?
I like that.
Yeah. Okay. But I think that's how you end up building a big following.
Totally.
Right? Yeah. So then I love the idea of what you did with Marvel, with Stan Lee died. Oh, yeah. He's hugging Spider-Man. You posted that. I think you could do more of that.
Cool. Find
so you didn't draw that?
I didn't draw it. No,
you found it.
I found it, and it just because it connected so much with the work that I do. It was such a powerful image, and people loved it on social media. And it's interesting because maybe another person could have posted the same thing, and it might not have had the same impact as it coming from the social media page of the hug guy.
Of course.
So, yeah.
I would look at finding somebody who's in the college campuses that you go to for the next 8 speeches that you give. Do a quick call out at the end to say you're looking for somebody who can sketch pictures or do animations.
Oh, that'd be great.
Somebody will say, yeah, I love drawing. I'd love to get some more exposure. Right at the beginning, it's free, but as you build up your business, you can potentially hire them, and you take once a week something that's in mainstream where there's fights and
change the narrative of it.
Yeah, and then you write like you can't do the picture, but you can write the caption. You can put some fire in the caption.
Yep.
Right. So if it's hugging the firemen who are
that are out at the fires in California.
Right. Or if there's some controversy, like I'm not huge on what's happening in U.S. news right now, but
it's all right now. It's all around
negativity.
Midterms and the LA fires, but it's good because my heart really does go out to these firefighters when you see images of them just exhausted and laying out on people's lawns because it's been day after day, night after night that they're fighting to contain these fires. Right. A number of them have even lost their own homes and haven't had the opportunity to even grieve their own loss, and they're out there helping other people. So
that's an easy one because everybody's heart goes out to the firefighters and the families.
Totally.
So that's easy. What's a difficult one? So where there's controversy, where there's fighting.
Probably the midterm elections. That's big in the states right now because there are still some positions that have been undecided because the votes need to be recounted, and there were errors with some of the polling machines. So I think if there was an illustrator doing some sort of tie-in, because there is a division happening, even just about that in the Florida and Georgia race.
The more you post that kind of stuff, the more it's going to come in.
Yeah.
This is secretly what I do with my channel. Because when people come in, the very first video I did on my channel was the very first top 10 was Kanye West. And I did it because a buddy of mine posted about Taylor Swift and Kanye West.
Oh yeah, that was some time ago.
But he posted it recently, like 4 years ago. I was like, it's been so long. Anyway, Kanye still is a genius. There's a lot that you can learn from him, even if he says a lot of wrong things you don't agree with.
Stuff, yeah.
Right? There's a lot you can still respect and learn from him. And your goal isn't to be the next Kanye. Your goal is to be the best you. And you can learn from Kanye to be a better you. Just don't take some of the crazy stuff and take these things. And then that ended up spawning my top 10 series, which became iconic on the channel. But I'm a huge believer that people tend to look for content that comes from people who look like them or are in the same industry as them. And so it's great. I want to provide that, but then I want to inject, like, hey, you can learn from this person and this person and this person. One of my favorite comments of all time was we profiled, I think it was John Johnson, sort of BET, and somebody left a comment saying, I grew up thinking from my parents that all black people were the N-word. And this video helped change my perspective. Because he's willing to learn from a black man to help him get more success when his environment was black people are all the N-word, right? And so that's why it's so important to have it consistent every day, right? Because you got their parents saying, "What are you doing? Hug, this is stupid. Like, don't go hug that black man." Like, right?
How do you break that?
Right. Yeah. And if you only hit them once and then they never see you again, well, it won't be enough. Right? Unless you're somebody who's like just really ready for the change, then you're that extra little bit. But otherwise, they're motivated for the day or the week, and then it's gone.
Yeah.
Right?
You have to keep breaking down those layers.
So when I ask people what their favorite video is on my channel, everybody has a different answer. Or how they found my channel, everybody has a different answer.
Yeah.
Right? And so somebody may find you because of your Spider-Man hugging Stan Lee comment. And think, oh wow, this is really cool what this guy's up to. They came for one thing, but then wow, look at all this other stuff, right? Yeah. And if you keep doing that, if you're talking about political figures or athletics or whatever, and then you're on the street and you're hugging people, everybody will find you from, so it's not only the Boston Marathon video that they find you. They find you from lots of different paths, and it all feeds into the mission that you're trying to accomplish.
Got it.
And there's got to be some university kids who would be dying to help you in exchange for a little bit of mentorship.
I agree. Yeah.
If you did that at the end of your next 8, you're going to get somebody who will come and say,
It's an illustrator.
I want to do it.
Yeah.
Illustrator or animator or anything.
Cool.
Who for 6 to 12 months, you take them under your wing, you give them some advice, they give you some illustrations, you write fire captions.
That's good, man. You're like a wealth of knowledge. I don't know how you fire it off that quick, but it's good, man. I think that using that, especially the idea of the illustrator being able to draw out some of my thoughts or some of the trending topics that are going on in the States, that's really good.
And I think having 2 people hug, but then I also think a series with you hugging somebody
cool
that most people in your situation would not ever want to hug.
Okay, I like that.
Right?
Yeah.
Like Trump calling you newbie Ken, rookie Ken or whatever. Yeah. I want to hug him.
Yeah.
And then explaining why.
Laughing it off.
Because nobody. Hillary doesn't want to hug.
No.
Obama doesn't want to hug.
No, most of them are like.
They don't want to hug him, right?
On that guy. Yeah.
Great. So, but you do, and then you explain why. Yeah. And anybody else who you would disagree with, and most people in your situation would complain about it, would post negativity, would be slamming them on Twitter. You're going to say, hey, I don't agree with them, but I want to give them a hug.
Yeah. And I think most people would see that is authentic to my message and my work anyway.
Yeah, and if they don't, whatever. Like it's the consistent exposure.
Yeah.
They may not get it the first time.
As I'm running then with this campaign, do you think that it's important to continue getting this message out of free hugs, continue even dressing like this rather than dressing like a politician? I mean, sure, there's times where I'll probably have to be in a suit, but I think a lot of people are able to connect to the simplicity of, look, that's the brand, the message that I'm trying to get out.
Yeah, I think you got to do you. I think that's how you win.
Okay.
I think if you're the newbie, then you embrace the newbie as opposed to trying to fake be something
everybody else.
Yeah.
So if I would have shown up in a suit and tie today for
like,
this,
Ken, what are you doing, man?
Really, you would have really?
Oh yeah. I'd be pissed.
Okay. Really?
Well, especially after this, I'd be pissed for you because it doesn't help you.
Got it. That's good.
Yeah, I'd be.
What do you think, Dan? Really?
And
if I would have shown up,
I would yell at him. Yeah, I would yell at him.
Like, why would you do that?
Yeah.
Because this is such my message.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And now listen, if it's a super black tie thing, I'll go in a hoodie to black tie events. I'll wear nice pants.
I do that even
in
speaking engagements.
But I'll do this. And maybe you put a blazer on or something.
Yeah, over it.
But this is the thing. And if you still want to wear the USA pin, because they all have the pins and the debates and all that stuff, awesome. Or if there's some other cause that, like, why just the flag? Maybe there's something else that you'd want
to get that message
show.
out. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. I wonder what the people will think too. The folks watching the videos when we get to that part, if they'll say, maybe if he's running for president, he should have dressed more presidential, or if people would be like, just do.
But look at how much Trump has been attacked for not being presidential, and he just doubles down on
not being presidential. Yeah.
And he does his own version of it. That's how you win.
Cool.
For always.
Okay.
For everything.
Cool.
Right?
Perfect. I like that, man. That's good. And I'm glad to know both of you guys would have been pissed if I would have showed up in a suit.
It would have been a yelling moment on camera. I would have made you go change it. Do you have something in here? Do you have it in your bag? Like, go put it on right now and come back.
All right.
Yeah.
Cool.
That would have happened.
Okay, cool. Well, and it's really good to know because I do struggle with that as I'm leaning towards.
It's the only way you win.
Perfect.
You can't struggle anymore.
Okay.
It's the only way you win.
Wow.
If you stand up there in a suit, you're done.
Wow. Okay. I like that. All right.
Yeah.
That's easy. Then this is true to who I am.
Yeah.
Rock the shirt, get the message out to the people. And I think what it will do is show people that, because I've noticed that some other politicians are trying to run on that platform of, let's unify people. It's very easy for you to say sitting behind a desk in a suit.
Yeah.
But here's a guy who actually goes into volatile situations and says, no, we really need to do this.
Yeah.
Cool.
And then, like, what are your, like, then you have to hug everybody who comes in, right? So, like, as you walk in, you're hugging all the reporters, one by one. You give everybody a hug. You hug all the support staff,
and they're
one by one. You hug the security, even though they're going to stand there like that. You give them, that's your thing. Everybody gets a hug.
Okay.
Yeah. Every single time, every single debate, every single event.
Okay.
Yeah, you double down on it because it's who you are. Not to like, now I'm going to play a safe version of myself, and it's not going to have the impact.
I love this, man.
Yeah, you got to double down. It's the only way.
Okay.
I know this is going to cut out on us because after now it dies.
Is it? All right.
People want to, Instagram has a limit.
Okay.
People want to find you, where are they going?
freehugsproject.tv on Instagram. YouTube, just Google Free Hugs Project, and then the little bear logo comes up. And then for the presidential campaign, Kenny2020.com. And yeah, man, thank you.
I love it, dude.
This is good.
Hug it up, hug it up. There it is.
Awesome, cool. I appreciate it.
Cool.
Danny, you need more hugs too, man. We're coming over there for you.
Thank you guys for watching.
Awesome.
We'll see you again tomorrow.